Hello, fourth grade. Today we're going to work on mixed numbers. Mixed numbers are numbers that have two parts, a whole number and a fraction. And here I have a model of a mixed number. I have two wholes, and then I have one piece that's not a whole. And if I look and if I put it with another one, I see two of them make a whole, so that's 1/2. So I have two wholes and 1/2. And as a mixed number, I would write that as 2 and 1/2. And when I say it, I say 2, my whole number, the word and 1/2 is the way that I say it. 2 and 1/2. All right, so let's take another one where we don't have halves. Let's take my blue pieces. My blue pieces are thirds because it takes 3 of them to make a whole. So if I have one whole and 2 of my blue pieces, that would be 1 and 2/3, which is written as 1 and 2/3. Now you have to be careful when you write that you put the whole number bigger than the fraction. You don't want to do it like this because that looks like 12/3. So you have to make sure that you write the whole number and then the fraction next to it, 1 and 2/3. Okay, so now let's take my green ones over here. Okay, so watch as I put my green ones together. And you can see that it takes 6 of my green ones to make a whole. So let's say that I have just 2 of those and 2 wholes. That would be 1, 2, and 2/6 is the way I would write that. 2 and 2/6. I can also show mixed numbers on a number line. And here I have a number line that begins with 4 and ends with 5. And these are the numbers that come in between 4 and 5. These would be mixed numbers, where these lines are on the number line. I can see that I have 3 sections, 1, 2, and 3. So this is 4. This would be 4 and 1/3, and then 4 and 2/3, and then 5. So 4 and 1/3 and 4 and 2/3 both come in between 5. I have another number line drawn that begins at 8 and ends at 9. This one has 8 sections. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Notice I'm counting the sections, not the lines. So if I were to number these now, would be 8, then 8 and 1/8. 8 and 2/8, 8 and 3/8, 8 and 4/8, 8 and 5/8, 8 and 6/8, 8 and 7/8. All those numbers come in between 8 and 9. Now let's look in your workbook on page 153 at number 1. This is a number line that starts at 0. And then it has 1, 2, and 3. But it's got this red mark that we have to name what number that is, the mixed number, between 2 and 3. So I can see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. So this would be 2 and 1/4 is where that red mark is. And then on number 2, you have to name the mixed number. I have 1 whole and 1/2. So this would be 1 and 1/2. But now let's click on 154 because that's the page that you're going to do. So on 154, on the top part, you have to name the mixed numbers. You're writing the mixed number for the shaded part. So in number 1, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 wholes and then 1/2. So you'll write 4 and 1/2 on number 1. All right. Then down on the next part, you have number lines. And you have to name the mixed number for this at the red dot. So it's between 5 and 6. So now it's going to be 5 and something. So I have to count my spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. So that's 5, 5 and 1/5, 5 and 2/5. So for number 5, you are going to write 5 and 2/5 for number 5. Now let's look at number 10. I'm going to do number 10 with you. It says a book weighs 1/3 pound. How much do 4 books weigh? Explain how you found your answer. Well, we're going to use models. So, one book weighs 1/3 of a pound. but it has 4 books. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Each one is 1/3 of a pound. Let's see how many holes I can make. There, I can put 3 together. 3/3 equals 1 hole, and I have 1/3 left. So 4 books that each weigh 1/3 of a pound weigh 1 1/3 pound.